There are so many moving parts in the day-to-day operations of a typical childcare business. Regardless of the size of your program, running a daycare can get real stressful and real overwhelming real quick. As we move into this next school year, I figured that I would share the top 3 things that completely shifted the trajectory of my business once I discovered and started to implement them. If you're new here, my name is Dani Christine, and I have gone from working in a childcare program as an assistant teacher to starting my own family daycare in my home back in 2014. And now, 10 years later, I'm operating multiple childcare centers in the state of New York while helping thousands of other providers across the US, like yourself, do the same. Now, I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about yourself in the comments below, so go ahead and scroll down there and do that for me, because I want to know more about you. Now that we're a little more acquainted, let's get into it. While there are many different things that I could list out in this video that have helped to keep myself and my team of 50 employees on track over the years, I'm going to go ahead and just narrow it down to my current 3 favorites, and I'll save the best for last. I've also got a huge announcement within this video somewhere, and I know that it could provide so much relief to you in your business operations if you need it. So go ahead and keep watching if you're interested in that. So let's work backwards and start off with number 3, digital tools and softwares. Simply put, digital tools make business operations faster, easier, and more accurate. I'll preface all of this by saying that you should absolutely check with your childcare licensing agency that is local to you or your registrar, or look through your regulations to ensure that any of the tips, suggestions, tools, strategies, systems, whatever I'm suggesting is going to be allowable or permittable for you in your area in order to implement in your business. You must prioritize compliance in order to meet the bare minimum of a quality childcare program. So don't do anything that you shouldn't if you know you shouldn't according to your local laws and regulations. But one of the first things that comes to mind for me when I mention digital tools are childcare management softwares like Tadpoles and Kangaroo Time. Childcare management softwares and apps can be used for child attendance and ratio monitoring. It can be used for parent communication and sending out mass notices to your staff and families. It could be used for daily reporting to parents of child activities that include pictures and videos most times. You are also able to use some childcare management softwares and apps to do tuition billing and lesson planning, or creating child portfolios and inputting assessment reports. There are a lot of functions within childcare management softwares and apps that I really would struggle with not having at this point in my business operations. All 3 of my center locations use Tadpoles and Kangaroo Time for different things. I am a very satisfied Tadpoles customer, and I am also a Kangaroo Time partner. So I would recommend both of them. Honestly, there are a few dozen more that you could probably research and find out about. Just Google childcare management softwares and pick the one that is best for you. DocuSign is another website that my team uses on a day-to-day basis to send child registration forms, employment applications, and anything else that needs to be filled out quickly to whoever, wherever, whenever, so that we can get a fast electronic signature and complete and accurate forms. DocuSign helps to reduce the risk of incomplete documents and skipped pages and inaccurate data that is required for you to collect. So DocuSign is something that may be helpful for you in your childcare business operation, no matter the size. It also saves the trees, reduces the need for all of that paperwork that you would normally print out for dozens or hundreds of children, depending on your program size. So regardless of if you're operating a smaller family home daycare like I was in the beginning of my childcare business journey, or if you're operating multiple centers with hundreds or thousands of kids, DocuSign is absolutely something I would recommend and can't imagine not having anymore. because you can also share the responsibility of sending out forms with other leadership team members within your organization. You can also make sure that the parent immediately receives a copy of whatever it is that they sign, or the staff member immediately gets that copy. It's just easy. Just use it. Just like with the childcare management software, there are dozens of other options of electronic signature websites and softwares that you could use. So do your research and find the best one that is suitable for you and your business needs. We also use a virtual phone system, which is an app that can be downloaded onto your phone or computer so that you can manage your calls and communications, calls, texts, faxes. Yeah, all in one place on that app, and share one phone number. The virtual phone system allows multiple members of my management team to have access to the same front-facing phone number, so that when we need to reach out to families that are either currently enrolled or staff that are currently on board or those that are inquiring or applying, they see the same, what we call our marketing number, even though we might be calling from different devices. Again, a cool function is that within the app, whether it's on your phone or on the computer, you can send text messages, receive text messages, including images for the app that we use. We also have faxes that we can receive through this virtual phone system app, and we can call from the computer if we didn't want to use our phone. The voicemails are also transcribed and sent to our emails, and we can also hear the actual voicemail as like a voice note attached to the email. So it's all very convenient, automated, easy to use, and again, don't know how we could go back to functioning without something like a virtual phone system, because it helps us to split the responsibility of the hundreds of calls that we could possibly get a week between our whole management team as needed. So I have personally invested, or the business has invested into buying the necessary members of our management team cell phones so that they don't have to use their personal phones for work. So they have work phones, and on the work phone, in order to maintain consistency and not confuse parents with a whole bunch of different numbers, we have our virtual phone system so that one number is displayed. Using the virtual phone system, you can also create a phone tree, which is something that allows callers to be able to select the option for the person that they actually want to reach. And you can add a greeting message that plays before the phone rings. Let me show you ours. So when I dial that front-facing marketing number, or enrollment hotline as I call it, you hear this.
Thank you for calling Academic Explorers, where we put the child first. Please listen closely as our menu options have changed. If you would like to register your child for enrollment, please press 1. If your child is enrolled at our Roosevelt location, press 2. For Merrick, press 3. For Uniondale, press 4. To reach our billing department, press 5. All other callers, please press 0. We are so excited to get your little academic enrolled. Please hold while we transfer your call.
Hello, Academic Explorers. Are you guys ready for our school song?
Yeah! Academic Explorers. Every day. Yes, we have a jingle that we have set up, and it's on our website. We use it in our marketing, and we also have it as part of the initial phone greeting when people call the business. That's another quick tip. We did go to a studio to record it, but I'm sure you could record your own jingle in the comfort of your own centers if that's something that you wanted to do. So the callers can select from the options on that phone tree system in order to reach the person on our management team or the center landline that they want to reach. Go ahead and like this video by giving it a thumbs up if you are interested in learning more about how to digitize your daycare. Now moving on to the next item on this must-have list, number 2, Traction. Traction is a book written by Gino Wickman that calls out the common frustrations and problems that most business owners with 10 or more employees commonly struggle with. It really teaches you how to get a grip on your business and gain control if you are feeling like you're spiraling or stuck. And it does this by going into extreme thorough detail about the entrepreneurial operating system, or otherwise known as EOS. Admittedly, this is brand new for me. I just read this book a couple of months ago, but I couldn't resist sharing at least a little bit about it with you, because if you looked up game changer in the dictionary, you'd see the cover of this book. For a few months before I read this book, I had been feeling like I was hitting a ceiling or not really understanding how to move forward in the business, even though we seem to have all the right people in place. We started to build out our departments within our company, which I covered in an episode of my podcast, Childcare Sights and Sounds. We have been growing and we're in the process of opening more locations. But regardless of all that, I really felt like I was reaching my limit of exactly what I could accomplish on a day-to-day basis, and it never felt like it was enough. Although I had all the people that I needed on my team and everyone had important roles within their job duties, I still felt like I was chasing after the daily tasks that needed to get done. And even if I was delegating tasks, I was still needing to kind of hover to make sure that those tasks were actually being worked on. And we just really honestly lacked accountability for quite some time as we've been going through this shift in major growth within our programs over the last year or two. So I've been flooded with a lot of responsibility, way more than usual because of the growth, and feeling stuck because I'm literally limited as a human being that has the same 24 hours as everybody else. I have only 24 hours a day, and for at least some of them I need to sleep. So it's just been really difficult, and discovering this book, actually, admittedly, this book has been on my bookshelf for at least 2 years now, and I just haven't picked it up until I went to Jamaica back in July. And I'm so glad that I did, because it brought a new level of clarity to how we should be operating and how to properly hold myself and the rest of our management team accountable for the things that we should be doing on a day-to-day basis. From the very first moment that I cracked open the book, I knew that Traction was offering a solution to me that I did not know I needed by introducing EOS. When I tell you I read that book from cover to cover within 3 days, and as soon as I got back from my trip, I scheduled a meeting with the 8 members of my upper management team, and we spent 4 weeks learning, studying, and getting to know EOS and how to implement it company-wide. I pulled our upper management team and our center directors out of the centers and sat them down in the same room for 8 to 10 hours a week, and we went through presentations that I created. I literally gave them the books and the materials. This is another book. If you are actually interested in this, you could also get What the Heck is EOS? And this is specifically a guide for employees, so that it's a much easier and faster read. It's a smaller book, the words are bigger, and it's less cumbersome than this. And we just dove into this EOS process as if it was a class. I do have the presentation and the materials and everything that I use to teach my team, and I've been thinking about figuring out how I can kind of simplify it and make it so that I show you how to do this if you want to, or start some sort of book club to help you get through it and give some insight into how we use the EOS system for our childcare business. I just haven't quite figured out if that's a venture I want to take yet. And honestly, you don't need me. You don't need me to do this. You could just buy the book yourself, learn about it yourself. But if you are interested in creating some sort of study group or class, or having me lead a class, leave that in the comments below and I'll think about it. Either way, I promise that if you make the time and space to learn about EOS yourself, you don't need me. If you have 10 or more employees and you're a growing business, not even just childcare, if you're watching this video and you don't have childcare business, if you have 10 or more employees and you're a growing business, pick up the book Traction and learn about how EOS could change your professional life. Let me just go ahead and add in here right now that this video is not sponsored. It is not sponsored by any of the platforms, websites, authors, or anyone that I have mentioned so far or will mention later. These companies are not paying me to promote the things that I am sharing with you today. If someone wants to cut me a check in the future, I'd be happy to take it, but this is me genuinely sharing the things that I absolutely need in my business to survive. And now, drum roll please. Number 1, Wix. This one might not even be a surprise for you because I feel like I've mentioned it in several videos. Wix.com makes it possible for anyone and everyone to build a high quality website without knowing how to code. Now, if you are a childcare business owner, I'm going to take just a guess and say that you did not go to school for engineering. You probably do not know how to code. You probably don't understand the ins and outs of web development, but with Wix.com, you don't need to. But what I am confident that you do know how to do, especially if you work with kids, what I know for sure is you know how to use a good template. And Wix offers hundreds of ready-to-use templates to build out a customized childcare website that is best for you. You can drag and drop your own photos, text, videos, different applications, functions, whatever it is that you want and need for your childcare business. You can easily create that for a very low cost using Wix.com. You could make something as simple as a landing page that's just one page that has general information about your childcare business, or you could make something a bit more complex if you have a lot more information to share, or if you're just a little bit more skilled with using the different customizations. But practice makes perfect. I will say that if it is your first time using a website builder or creating a custom website, you're probably gonna need some time and practice to get used to how to make it look as good as you want to make it. I have changed my website at least 4 times. And by changed, I don't mean like just editing words here or there or adding a form here and there. I'm talking about I completely scrapped the website and used a new template and made it look different year after year for the first 3 years of my business operations for my center. And I had a different website and a different template for my home daycare. So it took me a while to get it to the point where I'm happy with it. And I'll actually show you. This is what it looked like when I first opened my childcare business. I had a very simple and not very attractive design, in my opinion. And I just used the basic template and didn't add anything extra. Then the next year I switched to this template and design where for some reason I thought that having wood background would look better. Briefly looking at it, it gives me like summer camp vibes, so I'm not sure what possessed me to pick this design, because while we do offer summer programs, we're not only a summer camp, and even with that, it's still just not that appealing in my opinion, knowing what I know now. Then I went to a conference and figured that I would follow the advice of the person from that conference and make just one landing page with tabs that scroll down to the different sections on that one page. I don't know why. I don't exactly remember why that was the advice of the person that was presenting at that conference, but whatever it was convincing enough for me to go home and try it. But it ended up not being exactly what we needed in a website as we were growing. So this only lasted a couple of months. And then I spent hours and hours figuring out a different design and different functions and tabs and drop down menu items that were needed in order for us to do business well. And we have got the website that I have today. With our current website, I do revise and edit and republish here and there every so often throughout each year. Honestly, probably at least once a month, something needs to be updated, whether that's the teachers that are shown on our teacher pages. If we do have new staff that come on board and old staff leave, we have to change them out because we do share who our teachers are. Or if we're editing our calendar and adding events to our website, all of those things need tweaking here and there. And with Wix.com, I'm able to do that easily by myself without having to contact anybody else to do it for me. If you look at my company's website today, there are forms on multiple pages for website visitors to fill out if they want to schedule a tour, if they want to apply for a job, if they want to request registration forms, if they want to contact us. There are many different places and options for them to input their information and wait on a response from us. And when that happens, they automatically get entered into our contact list on the back end of our Wix website. This contact list is a function of Wix's CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Manager, and it allows me to send mass communication and generate reports whenever I need to see where my business stands with new inquiries and with our marketing efforts. Wix also hosts and offers multiple different applications that you can add on based on the needs of you and your business. One of the new applications that I am very interested in trying is an SMS marketing app. I downloaded it and added it to the back end of our website, but I have not actually used it yet. So when I do, I will come back to you with the results of how that works. But SMS marketing is a strategy that you can use to send mass text messages straight to the phones of people on your contact list. So over the years, we have built out our contact list to over 2,000 people within the community, and I do have those phone numbers and I cannot wait to use it. But I have to do a little bit more research into the compliance and figuring out how to properly use and not abuse that particular application. Another really exciting function within Wix is something called Workflow. Workflow is a digital board that displays all of the steps of a project so you can easily keep track of every phase. The steps are shown as columns with the board that you can create custom labels for. You can very easily add or remove steps. You can link them to contacts within your Wix contact list, and you can build out automations within the steps. Just like with the other digital tools that I mentioned at the start of this video, there are so many different options for CRM platforms and systems and websites that you can find and do research on to see what works best for you. I have used many a CRM over the years, and nothing that I have used in the past works as good for me as Wix does right now. And the reason that I believe Wix is best for me and my company is because it is an all-in-one platform, and we're already using most of the other functions within Wix. So adding on the workflow and utilizing the tools of the CRM that's already built in and free with what we're already paying for just makes the most sense for us. Pricing for Wix really depends on the customized plan and applications that you choose to add on based on what you need. You can use Wix completely for free if you need to or want to. And you can also add on a whole bunch of features that do have a monthly or yearly cost depending on the pricing plan that you select. Either way, in my opinion, it is a really affordable way to build a powerful website and back-end office system for you and your leadership team. What I like most about Wix is that I'm the one in control of the website. I'm the one in control of the CRM and the back office system. So whenever I need to revise something like changing out an image or video or revising some text that is on a page within our website, or if I want to add something, like putting a new event on our calendar that parents can RSVP for, I can do that and have it published in less than a minute. When families are Googling daycare near me or daycare in ABC neighborhood and we pop up as an option, they can click on our website and it could lead them to a form to fill out to request registration documents or to schedule a tour, all without having to pick up the phone and call us if they don't want to. We like to give our families different options of ways to reach us and do business with us based on their preferences. When they fill out this form, their contact information and whatever other data that was required to submit the form automatically gets entered and stored into the back end system by adding them to the contact list. This function of Wix has allowed us to create that list of over 2,000 contacts throughout the past few years. And with that contact list, I send valuable email newsletters out to everyone on a monthly basis, and we can create very targeted email campaigns to make sure that we are generating enough interest in our business. All of this does take some time to set up, and depending on your computer literacy, it could be really easy but tedious, or it could be a bit of a fun challenge. Either way, I believe it's worth it, and you could try it out for absolutely no risk by creating a free Wix account and making a free website and just studying the tools. Now for the announcement. If you've been rocking with me for some time, you may remember that back in 2020, I was building websites for y'all. I was out here working one-on-one with you guys and helping you to build out custom websites for your childcare program. And eventually it just got too time consuming and overwhelming for me because at that time I was going from one center location that I had been operating for 3 years to within 24 months adding on 2 more locations. But after learning about all the newly discovered back-end systems that I have found, I am re-inspired to restart this service for you all if you are in need of it. Now, I don't know how long this inspiration is going to last. You may have heard me mention before that I am in the process of opening up our 4th and 5th center locations. So this may be a limited time offer. Just being honest. But if you are a childcare business owner that does not have the time, skill, or motivation to create a website for your business on your own, I may be willing to help you out. Go ahead and visit childcaresites.com/Wix to request a free discovery call with me to see if we're the right fit for each other at the right time. The greatest thing that I feel I can offer you when it comes to web design that's a bit different about me is I really want to help you learn how to manage your website and your back-end systems by yourself without me after the website is done being built. I will show you how to create your own Wix account and how to access it, and I will teach you what I believe to be the most important tools, functions, and back-end CRM technology on the platform after the public-facing website is published. Unlike many other web designers or developers or done-for-you services, I really want you to have immediate access to the website and the data that you own. With this access and the know-how, you will have the freedom and flexibility to edit what's published on your website and customize your automations on the back end within minutes. Having the right tools and systems in place can quickly and easily lead to increased enrollment and better childcare business operations. Visit childcaresites.com/Wix to request that free discovery call today. That's it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.